Yeah, so it's been a few months that I've made a video, so I have a few thoughts as usual to put to rest. Hmm. Few weeks back, I've met. I was in a conversation. I was in a table with 3 4 people. Now each of them, they were doing their own businesses and they were doing their own things. And what intrigued about it for me was along the lines that there was a person, he was saying, uh, Swed, the thing that you do right now, coordinating with departments, bridging and making business and doing this, you go do sales and marketing, all these things that you do, what you do is very good. Compare to me what I did when I was 25 and 26. So that person right now, he is 35 36. So he said that at his time he did all those kind of drop shipping and the trading, mining, cryptocurrency, all of these all of these things that he was doing, that these are the things he was sitting at his laptop and he was making money. He did it, you know right now he thinks that he doesn't have his best communication right now, because it's been 10 years he's been building. Right now he has good amount of money that he can live wherever he wants. But when it comes to giving a sales pitch, when it comes to attitude, when it comes to talking to people for a certain things, he lacks communication skills. So he's saying to me that at 25 years you're doing this and you're building this, at 35 you will be amazing. So it's good. And this is not the first person that I see in this world that who's doing this. I understand that we have to live in a world that survival is very important, and we are wired in a very different way as well. I've come to realize that if you study people who have done extraordinary things in life, they you see a common pattern in them. they this is something that I call peripheral clarity. They work on a specific domain as a specific aspect, and they work their ass off. I mean, I'm not saying 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. They work 8 years, 9 years, a decade into it. Now, these delusionals that I call, it's like they work 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, a decade years, and then hard work meets luck, talent meets opportunity, and then everything happens. But people are not wired like this. People are wired for getting rewards and results. They need monthly salary, they need results next month. They can't work year on year without seeing results. The people are not wired like that. Only a few delusionals in the world, only a few extraordinary people who in this world has come about through it. And I've realized it. It's like that wrestler Khabib. He says, win or lose, I know who I am. Having peripheral clarity, win or lose, I know who I am. I know what I'm going to do in this world. I know what I'm going to die for it. That's it. Obviously, we are brought up in a world that which says, okay, you have to work because survival is important. Survival is important. I understand survival is important. Now, I think that most people don't realize human history, and it's very very important to understand human history. That, and this is something that I came across in the past few months also. If you study human history, the pattern recognition is the number one thing. Okay, one is that, and second thing is that understanding human history through a model, not just listening to the stories and moving on. No, not just understanding, okay, how this civilization came about to being and what made this civilization fall. No, understand history through a model. Now, why a model? Because this model is going to help you to, okay, in 1400 this model worked. Okay, at the time of the prophets, did this model work? Was this model existed? Is it practical? So that right now you understand, okay, this is the model that we are in, or this is the phase that we are in. So if you put this model in the 1400s, in the 90s, or in the 80s, 1800s, anytime this model should work. I'm not saying the exact model, but you have to understand wherein, like, how human history worked. This is very important. Now, the reason that I say that is, one is how global economies work, how trade works, how central banking works. It's very important. I've come to realize that we were talking about survival, because survival is important. We need money or we'll end up poor. Now, even if you study money, if you study civilization, you will see that, see, money is a tool. Okay, the first thing that we have to understand, that money is a tool. Now, before money, why did money come into the place in the first hand? Because money is a tool. This tool is trying to solve a problem. What is the tool trying to solve a problem? Now, before the era of money, we had barter system. You had a value, I had a value. Okay, so you give me your value, I give you my value. Now that is how transfusion, that is how transference happened. Okay, now there is a problem here wherein that if I don't want your thing, okay, but still I want, things. So that is when money comes. Obviously, we all know this, but you have to understand and realize that, see, here value is the primary thing. The number one thing is value. I should have something of good value, then only transfer can happen, one. And two, the next thing comes, how can this happen, where can this happen, how what time this can happen. All these things come as the secondary. The third thing, so the problem is the money, or is the tool, or how we can do it. So if you see, money is actually the third when it comes to when we want to do something. We have brainwashed today the world. We are brainwashed as money is the primary thing. Then we calculate all the other thing, which is not true. So this makes us believe, our schools, our colleges, all our institution makes us believe that no, the first thing is get a job, easy money, survival, money, money, money. So you have to understand, it is just a tool, one. And two, if you see global trades, economies, and how central banking is working, there is never, for example, food. There is never a lack of food. Okay, there is never lack of food, but that people are hungry, I know. There is never lack of food, but there is an unequal distribution of food. There is an unequal distribution of food. So if you had equal distribution of food, nobody would be hungry. So the problem is not lack of food, the problem is unequal distribution of food. So if there was equal distribution of money, then there wouldn't be a problem. The thing is, there is no unequal distribution of money in this world. Okay, so this is very important. So what happens, so if you know the central bank is printing money, so what happens if money is equally distributed? The concept of universal basic income. So what happens is, if you have money, then there is no point of going to work. There is no point of waking up and going for a job. There is no point, in order to work hard, because half of the global population works hard for the money, for survival, for poverty. So if there is money everywhere, economy 101, you need demand and supply. You need demand and supply. So if there is no point of working, if there is no point, like if you are getting universal basic income, if there is basically money everywhere, then you don't go for work, you don't go for a job. And if you don't have job, economies won't flourish, global trade won't happen. So if you study human history, like it or not, artificial scarcity is given. the way how economic crisis is pushed into the world. You have to create artificial scarcity. Then only, because of artificial scarcity, that is the reason people actually go for work. Like it or not, you agree, I don't agree, whatever it is. See, I think this is how the world works, and if you check human history, I think this comes into the place. So you have to create, so the system or the world or matrix, whatever you call, has created artificial scarcity to make you believe that okay, money is important, money is the primary thing, I have to work, okay, so I have to get the job, get to the money. But that is not actually how the world runs. All in all these things, survival, value, at the end of the day, it all comes to one thing, and that is giving result, reward, result and reward, and giving value. Okay, the ability to work on something without expecting reward, without expecting results, and you gather your value or you gather your skill, and then you harness it for 8 years, 9 years, for a decade, and then you give this gift to the world and then die off. This mentality is not primary. This is not our inhibition. We are brought up in this world to realize a different story of the world, so that economies can flourish, countries can do global trade, and things can work out. Only a few people, the delusionals, understands this. Okay, and the system rewards the one who confirms conformity, and the system punishes these delusionals and deviants, and the punishment is basically temporary discomfort. You have to work 8, 9, 10 years of temporary discomfort after discomfort, until you realize your thing. So these, and see what happens is, the thing about artificial scarcity, or the thing about anything, these, you have a set of new insights, new learnings, new understandings. These new understandings becomes your new layer of schemas or new layer of beliefs, and these beliefs reflects your reality. The same with artificial scarcity, the movies that you watch, everything, all these things, whatever you watch, you feel, this creates a new layers, new schemas in your brain, and then you reflect your reality. So both ways it works. Yeah, I would say that it's very important that in the world that you're living, where you are, what place do you have, what skills do you have, what value you can, if you just have one skill, two skill, combine that skill in a specific industry or in a specific country or in a specific domain, understand which, where your particular value, only your particular value can fit in this jigsaw puzzle, and then go full speed for 8, 9, 10 years, and I think things will change. And as you build new schemas and new beliefs and new layers, slowly it will reflect in the world. You will see the world slowly changing, environment slowly changing. So yeah, these are some insights that I had in these past few months. So yeah, hopefully take what you want.